It's, of course, Wendy Douglas, BBC London, 94.9. My thanks to the fantastic The Stories. They've been with us for the last couple of hours, talking and singing live. And what an incredible sound. And the vocals, for me, is what did it.
Yes.
Got me going.
I know. Amazing harmonies, great lead vocals.
Voice of Tony Moore, by the way.
Hello.
Good morning.
We have to say a big hi to Tufty, who's actually mixing the album probably right now.
Yes, I was going to give him a plug.
You're giving him a plug. Well, you can give him a plug as well then.
Hi, Tufty. And also Maria, who does the website. Yeah. And if you would like more information on The Stories, it's www.thestories, which is stories, storys.co.uk. I think destined for huge success.
I'm trying to plan my support slots for them right now, because I think they're going to be big stars. But big stars in a nice way, in a way that, you know, people want them to be successful, because they'll buy the records and they'll love the songs and they'll want to go and see them. And that was always the way of the music industry. You know, people had talent, people wanted to see the talent, they're quite happy to pay to go and see it, and then more people want to see it, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they become stars, and they're still here today. You know, Tony Bennett will still sell out wherever he goes, because he's amazing. And
I've interviewed Tony Bennett.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah, he is. He's a legend in his own right. An amazing man.
Right.
Really, really. Yes.
So, you know, you've got to do that. You've got to do that build. It's just no good going out and becoming famous overnight, because there's nothing underneath it to support that. So they're doing the right thing. And
there is as Steve said, there just seems to be, and you've reiterated many times, that there are more and more of these bands coming through, doing it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I mean, I'm a songwriter. I'm a performer, and I would love to earn loads and loads of money, because that's fantastic and exciting, and everyone would. But the truth is that I don't do a job that's necessarily any more important than a brain surgeon or a cancer specialist, or you know what I mean. And sometimes the amount of money that one artist can generate seems a little obscene to me. It's especially when there's lots of other great artists that earn nothing. I think that, you know, the world is a better place when the wealth is distributed more evenly, where you can have a career, just like the guys are saying, where you can have a career, where you can sell some records, you can play some gigs, you can pay your rent, you can put some food on the table, and you're okay. You know, you don't need to earn millions, as long as you're happy and at peace in what you're doing and you can survive. And I think we're moving into an age where you can do that, where if you've got a talent and people would like it, if you only sell 10 or 20,000 albums, but you've made it yourself, you're actually making a lot of money. You know, and
you're still doing very well.
I think small is the new big.
And boy, it's too hot in the studio this morning, because I've got so many people in The Stories in the studio with me now. And how many members? 4 members. I think it's the most we've had in a morning, actually. Good morning, Steve, and The Stories.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Great. It's lovely to see you.
It's really good to see you. It has been a while.
It's been a couple of years.
Has it been that long, really?
Well, I saw you at our mutual friend's film premiere.
That's right.
That's when I saw you last.
Which was probably about 8 months ago or something.
That's 8 months ago. But before that, it was about 2.5 years. It's a long time.
Goodness me.
Time flies.
I know. Well, I've been hearing kind of sketchy bits and pieces about what you're up to. But let's talk about the Stories and the present day, really, and how things are going with the band.
It's been a very exciting couple of years, actually. We've went back to Wales. We got this great band together, and we started writing songs. The 4 main songwriters were here tonight: Andy, Dave, Rob, and myself, and we spent a couple of months just writing all these songs. And Rob's friend had an old converted cinema up in the Welsh Valleys, in the Rhondda Valleys, and we took all Dave's equipment there and recorded for about a year and made a record, which is, you know, it was one of the most romantic sort of things to do, you know. And we did it sort of a la Led Zeppelin and Cowboy Junkies. Really got the sound of the place, really, and the feel of all the people really sort of in the songs, and that's hence where our name come from, The Stories. And we just took on, you know, just all the characters of this little town called Glencorrwg, which is an old Glencorrwg in the Rhondda Valley. What is it, the Rhondda Valley or the Neath Valley? I think it's the Neath Valley. I'll get stoned for that.
So how long have you been together?
I think it's about 2 years. About 2 years. We've all kind of known each other. Rob and Andy have played together for years, and Dave and myself were in a music college back in Wales. So we've known each other for a long time, but we just decided to, you know, put all our songwriting heads together and come up with these lovely tunes that I hope you'll enjoy.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to kick it off with you doing. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get it started and have some live music to start us off. So we've got an idea of what you sound like.
Cool.
So this is a song off the album.
Yeah, it's one of the songs. There's going to be 11 tracks on the album.
Mm-hmm.
This is a song called I Believe in Love.
I Believe in Love.
Is all we have. It guides us to dry land. Yeah, I believe in hope, 'cause hope is all we got when everything is lost. Yeah, everything is lost. Baby, try not to break down. Don't you let him take your dreams away. You can rise above these soul cages. Pull back that pretty smile he erased. Yeah, I believe in love, 'cause love is all we have. It guides us to dry land. Yeah, I believe in hope, 'cause hope is all we got when everything is lost. Yeah, everything is lost. She remembers the first time he held her close as the tears ran dry. But as she looked down at the bloody water, well, she saw the child, but the child had died. Yeah, love is all we have. It guides us to dry land. Yeah, I believe in hope, 'cause hope is all we got when everything is lost. Everything is lost.
Sensational. That's the Stories and I Believe in Love. What a great start to the show.
Well, I only
yes.
bring you the best.
You do. I mean, time and time again. Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about that particular song.
Well, that was the first song we wrote and when we got together. I mean, as I said, we've been writing together. We've known each other for a while. Several of us have worked together in different capacities over the years, and we kind of had this idea of doing a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and an Eagles and a, you know, but bringing it a little bit more up to date with bits of, you know, a little bit of Fleetwood Mac and then a bit of Crowded House. And we got together and literally Di brought the idea, you know, to the party, as it were, and it was written and kind of done in about a couple of hours, really.
So you all have a part in the writing process.
Yeah, it's a very lovely thing, really. Sometimes say Andy brings an idea to the table and we kick it around for a few hours, and then maybe Dave brings one along, or I bring one along, or Rob, and it's just a very
organic.
It's very organic and very egoless, actually. I must say it's you know, very respectful, and we all know how to write a tune. I think we've been doing it long enough, so yeah.
And it works. It works.
I tell you, Wendy, it was such an easy thing. Songs literally flew out of the sky. You know, it took 2 months. We'd written 40 songs. And
40?
At least 40 songs, and we just started.
Is that usual? Is that usual?
No,
I wouldn't.
It's not usual, but
No.
but I think this is an unusual combination of talents here, because essentially you've got 4 or 5 people who would, in their own right, be doing their own thing, and you put that kind of energy together, and it actually could probably go either way. You put energy together, and it could implode, or it could just blossom and really develop like it obviously has done. And it just sounds so right, doesn't it? You know, you hear these harmonies. It's like
I know
everyone's voice just
totally.
And that's a unique thing these days, because there's lots of records out there with lots of harmonies, but they're kind of generic harmonies. You know, anyone could have sung them, and they could have been programmed in a computer. But to have harmonies with voices that have character in them, because they're all lead voices, it adds something very special to this. And I'm a massive believer in this band. I have been since the moment I've heard them, and you know, obviously we've been supporting.
So when did you first encounter?
Oh well,
them
probably 2 years. Well,
a couple of years ago.
Couple of years ago, yeah. Cause
I played at the Kashmir a few times. I was invited down by Tony to the old place in a previous incarnation when I was a solo artist. Dave also had a deal with Sony. He was a solo artist in his own right. So, but yeah, you know, as Tony says, it's not a usual thing, and the harmonies weren't worked out or anything. They just
happen.
What we sang kind of stuck, and some of them aren't right, sort of musically, but they just work. And as Tony, you know, so lovingly said, they are characterful. So it's just been brilliant. You know, we're having a great time.
I think the other exciting thing is, we were talking earlier about timeless music, but I've not only had the great opportunity of programming these guys at loads of events and introducing them and putting them on stages all over the place, I've seen them at other gigs, and every time I hear the songs, they're just as fresh as the first time I've heard them. And that's a rare thing to say, that you go and see an artist time after time and you don't get bored at all. The same song just takes on a new life every time you hear it.
What is it? What is it about? What do you think it is? What's the secret to a timeless piece of music?
Theft. I think we're going to be in jail by the end. If this record does anything, I think we're going to be sued by the Rolling Stones and somebody else who we can't mention for one song.
No, but seriously, what is it? What is it that
I don't know.
What is that special something that gives a record? I mean, we were talking about Aretha Franklin's I Save a Little Prayer. And, you know, how many times I've heard that record, and it just sounds as fresh as the day it was recorded.
I think it's exactly that. They set up she's an extraordinary singer.
Yeah.
And she had an extraordinary bunch of musicians with her. It's about the moment and capturing that and setting it up and making sure that the recording sounds great. So I think when they got it, they knew they had it. Something comes in. It's weird and sounds a bit hippie, you know. But I think something comes in.
No.
I think there's 2 other elements to it. One is there's honesty. I think in all great timeless music, there's something very honest in there. It's not contrived. It's just people doing what they do best. And the second thing is talent. You know, there's a lot of people having short-term careers who don't really have any musical talent, but they have some fame, or they have some marketability, or they've had a lucky kind of piece of music, but they don't have great talent. And great talent is a commodity that's rare. That's why it's great. And we've forgotten how to celebrate the greatness, and we've looked for mediocrity across the world. And it's the same in the art world, and it's the same in the world of writing and poetry. It's the people who have talent are few and far between, and they should be venerated, and they should be supported, and they should be believed in and developed. And it happens so rarely that is the opportunity that people get. So when you hear talent,
Yeah.
suddenly it's like
Totally.
somebody's opened the door and light shining into a dark room, and you go, this is amazing. Why is it so good? It's so good because we're just surprised by the fact that we're not used to, great talent that just has something soulful and magical. They've all got something going on that's so special here, and it's about being patient. This industry is about having stamina, just
my
not
God.
going, I need to have a hit now or otherwise I'm finished,
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned they're so soulful and magical. When I was listening to you guys singing and the harmonies and stuff, it is soulful, it is magical, and really, really touching. I mean, I know, Steve, that I mean, probably all of you have had a certain amount of experience with the music industry. I mean, this is your kind of most recent band, but tell me a little bit about history, about how you got into the music industry and your experience up to now.
Well, my personal journey, and over all the different ones, my personal journey, I did a show. I did Jesus Christ Superstar in the West End about 6 or 7 years ago, and was spotted, if you like, by several record companies, came down, and I got signed on that. With hindsight, which is always a beautiful thing, I would have probably done it a different way. Looking back, and why we made the record ourselves this time, not to have too much interference by other people. Not that they don't know, it's just that the music industry at the moment, I think, is so desperate to get some hits, and I think sometimes they miss out on something that's glaringly obvious. What Tony's doing, and clubs that we've played recently, there's such an amazing bunch of talent out there, and some great artists, Carrie Tree, David Saw, to name two. And there's a movement going on,
It seems that there are more and more bands doing it themselves. They're recording their albums, and they're deciding, right, we're actually going to release it and produce it and do it all ourselves.
That's exactly what we're doing. We had some offers, and we had some lovely offers and so on, but we kind of thought, well, why don't we do it ourselves? We've come this far with the record. We are actually going to put the record out ourselves. We had some very generous business angels back in Wales who've helped finance the record, and there's an amazing thing happening in Wales, actually, that they are endeavouring to put an infrastructure together for a Welsh music industry, much like they did in Ireland 20 years ago or so, and help sort of nurture and develop artists. And luckily, we seem to be right at the forefront of what's going to go on down there. These people we're involved with are involved with many other people who have this single goal about setting up a Welsh industry. So there's a lot of exciting stuff, and
I'm amazed it hasn't happened before.
I think A&R men got to the Severn Bridge, and got to Bristol. There was a huge Bristol explosion.
Yes, there was indeed.
And, bands like that. Bands, I think Massive Attack.
Massive Attack,
Tricky,
from there,
and Tricky and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they never crossed the bridge. Well, eventually they did, and found a load of great bands down there. So, but there's not actually there's several little labels, but there's not one label that's affiliated to a major, for example, or one sort of flagship label down there. But so they are trying to put a Welsh chart together, much like an Irish chart and so on.
I think that also the difference is that Wales doesn't appear to be a separate country, whereas Ireland is.
Yeah.
You have to get on a plane or on a ferry to get there, and it feels like that if you drive just a little bit longer down the M4, now you're in Wales, and and we're all kind of together. So there isn't like a music industry for Bristol particularly, but I can understand that actually in Wales there's a very different tradition about music. And I grew up in Bristol, and the concept of the Eisteddfod and the development of music and creativity and the great singers that have come out of Wales have set it apart as a very original and individual country. And it does seem odd that there hasn't been kind of an industry there, but
it's building.
Yeah.
I've got. I'm just going to interrupt for a text here. Morning, Wendy and Tony. It's great to have such a brilliant band here in the UK. The Stories music is certainly timeless and defies most conventional forms of description used in the music industry today. I've heard them perform live so many times, but the music is always fresh and harmony so incredible. Thanks and congratulations on the forthcoming single and album. See you guys tomorrow at the Borderline, and that comes from Carmen.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Carmen.
Isn't that lovely?
It's lovely.
So you got a fan. So you got a gig tomorrow.
We're playing the Borderline with a band called the Dukes. I was kept calling them the Ducks. It's DHUKS.
Right.
But it's the Dukes. They're a fantastic Canadian band, kind of a rootsy.
Now, is that tomorrow or today?
It's later on today.
It's later on today, so
tonight.
Wednesday night. Well, look, let's have so much to talk about, and I'm jumping from one place to another, but it is organic. It's live radio, and there isn't a script to this. So let's get another track from you.
What do you want to do?
Your shout.
Be By Your Side.
Okay.
This features Rob singing lead vocals.
And it's called Be By Your Side. Be By Your Side.
Save me from the storm, hiding in the shadow, hiding from the sun for being born. Jealous fascination when I hear you lock a bedroom door. Together in a vision, here you come passing through these walls, and I'll be by your side, and I'll be by your side, be by your side, and I'll be. This is only natural in the way that I should want you to. This mutual attraction written in the blood that's passing through. And I'll be by your side, and I'll be by your side, be by your side, and I'll be. And I'll be by your side, and I'll be by your side, be by your side, and I'll be. When the leaves are falling, he'll be locked in someone else's room. You will never be empty, 'cause I will be inside of you. And I'll be by your side, and I'll be by your side, be by your side, and I'll be. And I'll be by your side, and I'll be
Oh, that's The Stories, Be By Your Side. Whoops. Oh, it's all moving about. Live radio, we love it. BBC London 94.9. We will talk more about the band and the music, but I've got some text to deal with here because we've, as well as having the stories in, we have been compiling a birthing music compilation album. And Steve, I know that you're due imminently. Well, not you, but your partner's due imminently.
15th of August is the due date. Rob's just become a father.
Oh, okay, congratulations.
As you can see, he looks terrible.
And what did you have, Rob?
A boy.
A little boy. What's his name?
Zach.
Zach. So we say hello to Zach. Good morning to Zach, who could possibly be up at this time of the morning.
He's
definitely. And do you know what you're having, Steve?
A little girl.
Oh, you're having a little girl. And do you have a name?
We have a couple.
Right.
We have a couple. We're having fights about it already, so we'll meet her first and see what happens.
All right. So if you could contribute a track to our birthing compilation, what would it be?
Van Halen, Jump.
Van Halen, Jump. Okay, brilliant. We've also got Tony, Come Into My Life by Joyce Sims. Oh, he's typing quickly. And obviously, if you would like to contribute some more, 07786 200 949, or you can call 0207 224 2000. What was the other one? It was I'm Coming Out, although we're having a debate as to whether it's up or out. But I do believe it's out by Diana Ross.
Well, I changed mine. Birth of the Blues, a bit too miserable, really.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought of that. I was on another planet altogether. I think much better would be It's a Kind of Magic.
Ah, yes, that's much more up, isn't it? And positive. And we've also been talking about bands reforming. We were reading recently that the Stones are back with a bang, and two suggestions are: how about reforming the Police? And that comes from Pete. And did we have the Jam? We did, didn't we? There was another one as well. I can't find it at the moment, but. So yes, if there's a band out there that you would like to reform, to release another album and go on the road, give us a call, 0207 224 2000. Steve, any thoughts on that one?
I was going to say the Police myself, actually.
Captain Beaky.
Captain Beaky.
And his band.
Captain Beaky and his band. Not come across.
Sleep deprivation, that is, Rob.
Yeah.
You're going mental on us.
Oh, Faith No More.
Oh yeah,
Faith No More.
Faith No More, yeah, and that comes from Marius.
And they really are, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. So we birthing compilation, any contributions to that, Faith, any reforming bands, and also if you wanted to have a chat with the Stories as well, 0207 224 2000. They're going to be with us for another hour. So stay tuned to BBC Studio this morning. Tony Moore is with me, as well as the Stories, who have been singing some live music, and they are absolutely fantastic. I've got loads of texts and emails from you, so I'll deal with those first, and then we'll come back and talk to the Stories more about their music and hear from them as well. So let me just get... Okay, we're also creating a birthing music compilation album. Ray in 8 on the A2 says Push It by Salt and Pepper. We like that one. Morning, Wendy, Carl, Tony, the band. Yes, it is a busy studio this morning. Birth music, Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. All the best from JC in N1. And this is a peculiar one. Song for the album, Rolf Harris, I'm a Pink Toothbrush, You're a Blue Toothbrush. Friend of the show, Julian the cabbie. Going on to... Right, hi to all of you in the studio. Band sounding superb on both my hi-fi and my digi-radio. And that comes from Mike in Slough. An email from Paul Kramer. You did the plug earlier on, Tony, for Paul. The gig is almost sold out, he says. Thanks a lot for plugging it. Birthing songs, well, I'll just choose one. We've Only Just Begun by the Carpenters. And, hello, Wendy, Anthony and the Stories. Who else could that be but Tony's mother? Yes, it's me in Bristol. Lovely listening to the Stories, whom I have known, of course, since the Kashmir Club days. Birthing music for me would be Perfect and Beautiful. Every week, Tony's
I'm just really surprised she didn't say best day of your life. Because every week she manages to go, yes, best day of your life driving music, and best day of your life when you're digging up the garden, isn't it?
Look forward to hearing Anthony sing later, and that's from Tony's mum. Oh, bless her. Yeah, the stories, says Denise. Great to hear the stories live in the studio. Many thanks for having them in. Their songs are fantastic. Why can't songs like this get on the radio station's playlist? Well, we hope that that we're working on it. I know it's the sort of stuff I want to hear, and I don't think I'm alone on that thought. Oh, and birthing song, I Hate Myself for Loving You. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Just think of the old Bill Cosby joke about giving birth being like stretching your mouth over your whole head, and you'll understand that one.
That's very nice.
That's very... Chuckle, she says. Many thanks again for having the band in, and congrats and best wishes, Wendy and Bump and Stephen, his little B2B.
Thank you very much.
Who was that from?
That was from Denise, or is she known as Dee to you? Is that who it is? Do you know her?
Well, I do know Dee. Dee's part of the regular support crew, but there's also Denise, who's also part of the regular support crew, and Dee is also Denise. So there's two Denises.
Oh, is there? Oh, well, I'm very confused. Anyway, packed studio, fantastic vibe in the studio. The stories, Steve. Let me get all the names. It's Steve, Rob, Dave,
Di.
and Andy, or Di and Andy, have been with me this morning singing live. So, new album, what's it called?
It's just going to be called The Stories.
Right.
And it'll be out September the 19th.
Oh, soon.
A single, Cinnamon, will be out on the 12th of September, and then the album on the 19th.
I like the I've got a 5-track album sampler here, and I do like the artwork. It looks really good.
We're going for the kind of all wood block images, and somebody said, we had some photos done with a great friend of ours, Darren, the other day, and he said, you know, all stories can be made out of in English can be made out of the alphabet. So we've kind of, you know, every story can be made out of those characters. So we kind of like that concept. So we've stolen that from him.
Excellent.
It's too late. I'm philosophizing.
No, not at all.
I need coffee or something strong.
So let's get another song from you before we talk some more, because there's been lots of talking going on.
This one's called Roll Like a Stone, and it's about our hometown of Swansea.
Roll Like a Stone, from the stories about their hometown, Swansea. It's BBC London 94.9, just after 3:10, and a really, really wonderful vibe in the studio this morning. I'm loving them.
3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3.
The city with streets shining gold, it ignited emotions you thought had run cold. You stood and watched the preacher at the side of the road. He said, this town's full of vampires, take care of your soul. You flew like a bird through those towers of glass. No time for reflection, no thought for the past. As you push the boat out away from the shore, you start making waves deep as you drift from it all. They love you, lead you right down that beaten path. You learn when you're down on your knees, you answers, you'll find they were there all along. The people who love you have lost who you are. I guess you've been running away. Oh, since before you could crawl, you will roll like a stone, baby, all the way home when you're done. As you search for the answers, you'll find they were there all along. You will roll like a stone, baby, all the way home when you're done. Then you will find your way in this town. Oh, oh. Yeah. Oh. So don't let the world bring you down. The jewels inside you, babe, all that you haven't found. You will roll like a stone, baby, all the way home when you're done. As you search for the answers, you'll find they were there all along. You will roll like a stone, baby, like a stone, baby, oh. You will roll like a stone, baby, like a stone, baby, oh. Then you will find your way. You will find your place in this town.
A big round of applause for the Stories and Roll Like a Stone, which is coming on their forthcoming album entitled The Stories. So what does Roll Like a Stone say about Swansea?
It's a bit of a Paulo Coelho vibe. We had The Alchemist in our idea of you try and go all around the world to try and find what you're looking for, and it's in your backyard, you know. So it was kind of going with that sort of principle. There's a lot of strange characters in Swansea, and there's a strange pub called Mozart's, which all these kind of people congregate in. So it was kind of taking that idea, but you don't have to go around the world to find what it is, because it's usually right there, yeah. So it's
So tell me about, what's the story behind The Stories, the album?
Whoa,
Is that a big one?
that's kind of. Di, do you want to say something?
I'll leave you to it.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
But it's got all the songs. A lot of the songs have characters that we know that kind of come in and out of the stories. You know, we're very influenced, but we've been very lucky. We've got some great support people. Tony, of course, being one of them, and back home, a lot of people who are, you know, very supportive, and just lovely. And we've had an amazing experience. I made a record before for a massive record company and didn't have the best experience in the world. And I think Di has had a similar journey. So this one we actually did it our own way, and were helped by a lot of, you know, we had a lot of love around us and a lot of support.
how is it different this time?
Because we're doing it for the right reasons. We're just doing it for the music. You know, we'd love it to be successful. We'd love people to buy it, and because we have to live and we have to earn money and all of that sort of thing. But we've definitely done it for music first, and what, you know, and so hopefully that will come across. There's a lot of heart in it, for definite. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed, and we've had a great time so far. So we're just gonna carry on doing it, I think.
And what's the label called? What are you putting it out on?
Our Hall Recordings.
Hall.
H-A-L-L recordings.
Right.
We the place we recorded in, this old haunted, believe it or not, old cinema. It's now converted into like a Phoenix
Sounds
Nights.
amazing.
It is amazing, and it's like a little town. This place called Glencorrwg, and Lawrence and Lorna, who invited us into their sort of life really for 2 weeks originally, and we stayed for about 18 months. Drove them crazy, drunk the bar dry. So I joke about it. We got to sell records to pay the bar tab. Well, we've had such a brilliant time, and they bought this old cinema. In this Glencorrwg is this little town. It's got one road in and one road out, and it's an ex-mining town, so it's got, you know, all the ghosts of that past there, and it's got you know, all these great characters and ex-miners and just, you know, wide boys and funny people, and it's just been a brilliant time and an eye-opening time. And they tell you the truth as well. If something's sounding good, they'll say it's sounding good, and if it's sounding terrible, they'll
say,
yeah, straight away. But by the end, you knew it was happening when they were whistling, going down the corridor, whistling the tunes. So it's been great fun.
These blokes rock, says Sam from Brixton,
Come on, Sam.
formerly the Mumbles.
Come on, the
Come
Mumbles.
on. And Wendy, I love them. They're brilliant. Heard them for the first time when Tony brought them in before. Can't wait for the album. And that comes from Wendy as well. So you've got some fans already. You've got a good. I mean, in terms of the live gigs, have you been going out live?
We've played over the last year. We've done a lot. We've played much more in London than we played back in Wales.
Really? Okay.
We've done a lot of shows, and you know, we're getting a lovely following, and we're just doing it very sort of organically. Is that word again? But we're doing it, you know, grassroots style, and just getting out there and playing to people. Everyone we play in front of seems to like it. So, and I think it is about the harmonies and stuff, because not many people are doing it.
And is it what's the live setup?
Live, it can rock a bit as well. We've got Alan and Brian, who aren't here today, but Alan's plays everything: mandolin, piano, lap steel, and Brian's a fantastic drummer. So we plug in electric guitars and we have it as well. So it's great fun. It's great fun.
So will you be doing, once the album's released, will you be doing more gigs in Wales? Hopefully.
Yeah, we're gonna get back, and we're gonna stop. We got a couple of shows coming up, I think, over the next couple of months. We're gonna start doing some stuff. We're gonna have to promote it back down there, because the people who earn this money want to see where the money's going. So it's gonna, you know, we're just gonna start building a following down there, and because when you're in Welsh, and when you're in Wales, if they like you, they'll support you until, you know, your last breath, really. So that's a really good thing about it. They're very, you know, patriotic and so on. So yeah, we got some support things coming up, and it's going to be, we're out with the Isle of Wight with Tony.
Yeah, festival.
It's a big, huge
festival, yes. When's that, Tony?
It's the 9th, 10th and 11th of September.
Right.
And I'm programming and presenting a stage for 3 hours a day. I'm doing it with a company called Podgear, and they're supporting new music. And they've given me the opportunity to put together a bill. So we've got a fantastic lineup over the days. And on the opening night, Friday night, Stories are starring down there. I'm going to do a whole 45-minute set. And that's going to be around about 5:30ish, I think, is the slot there. So it's a perfect slot, because it's just before the main stages start, and it's by the time everyone's arrived and settled down and really happy. And it'd be a great opportunity to see them in festivals surrounding. This is a festival band to me. You know, I can imagine,
I can
you know,
see them.
laying back on a field, miles away from the stage.
Glastonbury, I can see them. I can see you at Glastonbury. I can see you.
Fantastic.
Big Chill.
Come on, the Big Chill.
Yeah, come on, the Big Chill, which is happening this weekend. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely Sunday afternoon.
Yes, please. Well, we played the Guildfest this year. We were programmed. It was fantastic. We were on the heavy metal stage.
Were you?
We were as non-heavy metal. We used to be in heavy metal bands, Di and myself, but we were going to get the old, you know, get all the old songs and leather trousers. Well, I wasn't anyway, but and it worked. You know, loads of sort of rockers left, but people were hearing it, and the sound was amazing in this tent on this stage, and loads of people came in and watched us. So it kind of worked, but just by the skin of our teeth, really.
And this is the festival that you're talking about on the 9th, 10th and 11th. Is it a camping jobby?
Yeah, it is actually. But
I'd love to come.
But it's also apparent. I haven't been there. It's the second year they've done it. And
right.
Rob de Bank is curating it.
Yeah.
It's a very eclectic mix of main stage artists.
Sounds like my cup of tea.
But the layout is really nice, apparently. So really nice toilets, really nice paths, not loads of mud. You can get caravans down there, or you can take a caravan down there, or you can camp, or, you know, I think it's a very civilised festival. But a nice musical one as well. So Glastonbury is amazing because it is what it is. It's a thing. There's nothing like Glastonbury.
No.
But every other festival that's miserable and muddy and the toilets don't work, you haven't even got the Glastonbury vibe to go with it. You go, what a miserable time I'm having. But the idea of this is just a beautiful place and it's really well laid out. So Bestival, I think that the website is bestival.co.uk.
I'll have to check that out. I think I quite fancy that because I've not been to a festival. I haven't been to a festival this year yet. So it would be nice to get the tent out and see you guys live.
Oh, that'd be wicked.
Well, the stories are in the studio with me, and we'll come back to you for more chat and music. But we're still playing the Enigmatic 8,
Yes.
and we need to give it a blast so that people can familiarise themselves with 8 snippets of 8 very well named tracks. And all you have to do is to identify the title of the artist, the track, and it's a possible 2 points for 1 point for each answer, 16 points altogether.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How did you guys do?
Rob's done the knowledge. He knows everything about music.
How many did you get? How many do you think you got out of the 8?
About 3.
About 3.
Well, that's laying the gauntlet.
We never really. I haven't heard the full version. I saw 5 minutes and 55 seconds worth. What a fantastic record! It was really good.
I think it was really ahead of its time, that record.
Yeah,
Trombone
You know, and we're trying to work out what was about 81, wasn't it, I think?
it was indeed 1981.
Yeah.
God, is it that long?
And yet it doesn't...
24 years ago.
I wasn't even born.
It doesn't sound like an 80s record.
No, it doesn't.
And to be honest, actually it was the beginning of the 80s. The 80s really hadn't discovered its sound. It was probably more 83, 84 when the big noisy snare drums and real 80s sound was defined. But that's a timeless record.
Yeah, another one. Well, we've got a timeless band with us this morning. The Stories. Steve, what sort of bands are you listening to at the moment?
I love the Kaiser Chiefs.
Do you?
I can't stop singing that. What was it? I Predict the Riot. It's fantastic.
They've been nominated for a Mercury Music Prize as well, the Kaiser Chiefs. They have, haven't they?
Yeah, listen to Ray LaMontagne, who's amazing singer-songwriter.
Tell me. I went to see him.
I've seen him as well.
I went to see him at the Shepherd's Bush.
That's
No, not Shepherd's Bush, the Scala. Oh my
Apparently that was
good-
an amazing show.
It was
I saw him myself.
absolutely incredible.
He's awesome.
He is absolutely awesome. I'm with you on that. He's just...
I think he's quite bonkers, but he's just awesome. He shaved his beard off, actually.
Oh, had he?
Yeah, and he should have kept it on, but he was brilliant.
Amazing vocalist.
Oh my God.
If you haven't heard, I think Robert Elms was really
Yes, he
playing
was.
him. Daytime Trouble was,
Yes,
which is
awesome.
the title track of the album. Is an awesome record. If you haven't come across Ray LaMontagne, go and buy him.
Fantastic.
Who else?
Ooh.
What?
I haven't got any money to buy records these days. Steal them all. That's about it, really.
Wilco.
Wilco.
They're good.
They haven't made a new record for a long time, have they? Ghost is Born, when was that?
Yeah.
4 years?
Wilco.
Year ago.
Yeah. Rob,
It's like alt country band, Wilco.
Rob likes Hinge and Bracket.
You don't want to talk, do you? The rest of the band. What's the matter with the rest of
He
the
doesn't want to talk, but he hasn't shut up.
Have it.
No, I just like butting in now and then.
I'm going to butt you in a minute.
So what were you saying, Rob? Wilco.
Yeah, check out Wilco.
What's tell me about them.
It's just a alt country band from America. Slightly experimental. And just good.
Yeah, fantastic.
But you don't hear them on the radio.
You don't hear them on the radio.
They sell loads of records, don't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they get dropped by the record company and then...
Yeah. Oh, you're butting in with me now.
I'm sorry.
So,
You can have the mic.
We
A fine example of the writing process live on radio. There's no egos involved in this one. It's totally democratic.
Egos or ego. No, it's great. No, we love each other, really.
You do you?
Yeah, definitely. But not
So-
in the biblical sense.
So if people want to know more about you, we haven't mentioned a website yet. You
No,
must
we
have a
haven't.
website.
Goodness me, we've been going for...
We have a lovely website, www.thestories.co.uk.
And the stories is spelt STORYS.
Yes.
Thestories.co.uk.
That eats, shoots and leaves woman would hate that spelling.
Because you've got an apostrophe in the wrong place.
We haven't got no apostrophe.
You haven't got any apostrophe at all, have you? It is a story. Because I was trying to do a search this evening on you on the old internet, and I put in every possible combination apart from this one.
Yeah, we'll have to work that
You
out.
would.
Yeah, thestories.co.uk. It's a very cool little site we got going on. Lots of download stuff and lots of stuff to look at. It's great. Great fun.
Brilliant. Well, let's talk more music. Let's have another track from you.
This one's called "Is It True What They Say About Us?"
Oh, is this true what they say about us? Is this on the sampler? No, it's not. But it will be. It's on the album.
It's definitely on the album.
It's definitely on the album. Is this true what they say about us? Another live track from the Stories. I have tried to get in as many as possible because they're just brilliant, and I'm really, really enjoying listening to them playing. And the harmonies, the voices are superb. So check them out.
Every time I walk with you, baby, you see the real me. Even though this road's well traveled on, it belongs to you and me. As I watch the fire escaping from your heart, where the northern lights went out, there is no spark. I've been blinded by the writing on the wall for so long now. Is it true what they say about us? Is it true what they say about us? That the gold is beginning to rust? Is it true what they say about us? I've got a wanted poster with your face on, nailed to this tired heart. Go get a bullet with my name on, baby, baby. Take another shot as we dive into the pool beneath the stars, where the falling satellites have made their mark. We'll reveal the deepest secrets of our heart. For so long now, is it true what they say about us? Is it true what they say about us? That the gold is beginning to rust? Is it true what they say about us? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. watch the fire escaping from your heart for so long now. Is it true what they say about us? Is it true what they say about us? That the gold is beginning to rise. Is it true what they say about us? I'm watching from a distance, baby. I can see the sun. I got no resistance to your name. I'm sure that you're the one.
Oh, it's too much. I want to lie to... Is it true what they say about us? And that's from the Stories with Steve Balsamo on lead vocals. I was just sitting here, Steve, just thinking, we've known each other for over 4 years now, and this is the first time that we've actually seen either of us at work.
I know,
it's really bizarre.
But that's a good thing, I think.
It's a fantastic thing. It's a really good thing. But that was just so beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Really good. Another email here. I don't think we've had so many emails actually on for a live band since I've been doing the show. Hi Wendy, Isle of Wight, here we come. Are you playing too, Tony? The guys are amazing. Wales rule, and that comes from Love from Ruth B.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm playing as well. I'm going to host the stages, but I do a set on the Sunday afternoon, the middle set. So I'm going to do about 40 minutes, where I should be playing some tracks from my album, which I should be shamelessly self-promoting.
Get going.
And interestingly enough, the band that are playing after me are the band that played on the album, were my band for the album. But I'm going to do an acoustic set because they are an amazing band in their own right, and it's just a shame they could only be there one day, and otherwise if they could stay for the whole weekend, I'd ask them to play with me on another day and then do their own headline set. But to kind of be my band for one set and then to be themselves the second set just doesn't really work, because they need to be focusing and people seeing them just for what they do. Astonishing musicians. So I'm going to be doing kind of a solo set down there.
Right.
But I like doing that.
Okay, so to remind you that the festival is happening on the 9th, 10th and 11th of September, and there is a website.
There is. I think it's festival.co.uk. If you want to know what the lineup for the stage that we're doing, because I'm not sure if it's actually featured on the main website just yet, because we've just been finalising it. You can go to my website under the gig page, and it'll give the lineup of the people who are playing on each day, which is tony-moore.com. I thought that was a really posh kind of website to have, really, because everyone kind of just sticks their name together. It'd be like TonyMoore.com.
Yeah, but you had to have a hyphen. You had to have a hyphen, didn't you?
And it's not just because there's a bloke called Tony Moore in America who's a real estate dealer who's nicked my name first. No, not at all. I think it's nicer to have the hyphen. It makes it more unusual.
All right, we're still playing the Enigmatic 8. We will come back to the story. So let's give it another blast. We haven't had any takers yet, but it's early days, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
0207 222 40,000. It's not as hard as some of them have been, carefully crafted by our Tony Moore. 0207 222 40,000 if you've got any clue on what any of those tracks are. 1 point for each correct answer. And what do they win? What do you win this morning?
Whatever we can
rustle up from the cupboard.
Yes, exactly. There's loads of things here that we can give away. You know, there's some transmitter aerials here, and a couple of mixing desks, and some monitors, all kinds of stuff that we could send out.
All right, well,
that's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. Don't take us seriously.
You'll be getting something nice from the cupboard. We're not quite sure yet, but it will be happening. Hugh, the cabbie, would like to have a go at the Enigmatic 8.
Fantastic.
Good morning, Hugh.
Morning.
How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Rather dubious that I'm the first one on, but I'll give it a go.
Oh, why not? You got to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? So, do you need to have another listen, or are you...
No, there's two that I think I probably listened to a few times, and I think I still might struggle on. So, I'm going to have to throw in a couple of
red herrings,
aren't I?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'll start with the Byrds. You can play if you want for the other people. The music if you want.
Oh, you mean
you mean play the Enigmatic 8?
Yeah, if you want to play it first.
Okay, well, I'll play it first. Thanks for that cue. Hugh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So, for the benefit of the other listeners out there.
Right. Okay,
Hugh.
then. Okay, Byrds, All I Really Want to Do. Jonathan Richman, Roadrunner. Cream, Sunshine of Your Life. Blondie, Heart of Glass. Shadows, FBI. Otis Redding, I Can't Turn You Loose. Right, I'm struggling now. Let's think.
You got any more up your sleeve?
They're the six I definitely think I've got a rough idea on. Let's see. I don't know. Ace of Spades. No, I don't really know.
Okay, well,
they're the ones I'm sort of okay on.
Hugh, we've been running this for a little while. You're the first caller, so whatever you've answered, provided you got at least half of one right, you're already the winner. You answered 6, which could have given you a total of 12 points had you got the name of the artist and the song right for both parts. Out of those 6, you have got 9, which means you've gone straight into the lead there.
That's a really good score.
It is. It's a great way to kick the competition off. And actually, the way it's going, if nobody beats you, because they've got to beat you, can't draw, you will be the winner. And something from the cupboard, maybe some cupboard love.
Oh, a Barbara Windsor workout DVD. Do you fancy that, Hugh?
This is not Carry On BBC, is it?
I'm only jesting.
It's got to be better than Jay Goody.
Hugh, have you been listening to the band?
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
They are. They're fantastic.
Definitely shades of Crosby, Stills and Nash there, isn't there? You know.
Yes.
You say they've been going for a couple of years.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to ask them?
No, I'm just enjoying the music. You know.
That's fine.
Great. Well,
so, what do they actually see themselves trying to break into the sort of American market, as they're obviously their influences are sort of Eagles and Crosby, Stills and Nash? Do they are they thinking long term?
Well, let's ask them.
Let's ask them. Yeah. What?
Steve?
We'd love to go to America.
Yeah.
We'd love to go. That's where most of our influences are from. So we'd love to get over there.
I mean, a few Welsh bands have broken there, haven't they? You know.
Badfinger broke, and then they broke themselves, unfortunately, because they ended up as a tragic story.
Right.
But a few bands have gone out there and had it. Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Hugh,
Best of luck. It's very, very good, enjoyable.
Excellent. Hugh, thank you very much. You are in the lead at the moment at the Enigmatic 8, so stay tuned.
Okay then.
Thank you very much for the call.
Thanks,
Good
bye.
morning.
Bye-bye.
He didn't even want to ask a question. Look, there he was.
He was just enjoying it, wasn't he?
He really was just enjoying it.
He didn't want to be a journalist in that moment. I think the interesting thing is that, you know, even though they've kind of been around for 2 years, actually in the grand scheme of things 2 years isn't very much.
No, it isn't
for the development of something that's really special. And there's a lot of acts that are happening right now that I remember seeing doing their first ever gigs, or certainly some of their early gigs with me years and years ago, that are just starting to break through. People like Katie Tunstall, who I'm a massive fan of, who's doing really, really well.
Also another Mercury Music Prize nominee.
And these are people who've paid their dues. You know, that's another thing that has really got overlooked, is paying dues, is getting out there and learning your craft. And even though, you know, all the guys have done it individually before, as a band, building that sense of camaraderie and community and band spirit by gigging and by seeing the reactions you get from people. You can't do that overnight. You've got to build it and actually grow into the songs. It's like a pair of shoes, isn't it? You buy a brand new pair of shoes and they may look great, but they're painful to wear after an hour or so. But after a while, when they really
You wear them in. Yeah.
suddenly they become, something very, very comfortable to wear and look great as well. These guys look great and they're very comfortable to listen to.
Oh, extremely comfortable to listen to. I mean, Steve, Hugh asked you there, would you like to break America? And you said earlier that the whole kind of philosophy of the band is making music, and obviously you want to make music and you want to make money, and and sell a lot of music. What's the goal for you?
I think the ideal, personally, and we've talked about this a lot as well, is to carry on being in music and keep making music. Yeah, we'd love to sell a load of records. We'd love to, to have a hit record and so on. But it's definitely about making music, writing songs, maybe producing other artists and working with other people and so on. So it's just staying in the music industry, And with gear being so cheap and so on, and the internet being so accessible, I think there's going to be a huge explosion of bands that we've seen over the last couple of years making their own records and putting it out themselves, because you can actually make a living going out there and selling it yourself, and selling at shows and selling merchandise at shows and so on. So you can actually work. It's definitely a viable option these days. You don't have to be with a major record company to actually make a living out of music. You need their clout and their weight to get the marketing together and so on to give you a big push. But at the moment, we're just gonna.
So you're just doing that yourselves, essentially, in terms of the marketing, and
we've got we kind of, because we're setting up a label. We've got some great advice of a guy I've known for a long time, John Waller, who is involved with the band. He's a marketing guy. He used to work at some big record companies and so on, and various other people who. It's interesting. The industry is kind of getting rid of a load of good people. So there are loads of very experienced music industry people out there, kind of setting up their own things and setting up their own labels and so on. So it's going to be a mushrooming of all these little labels with bands attached to them and so on. And it's probably be cyclical, and it'll go round again, and the majors will then eat them up again and so on, or buy them out. But I think what we are trying to do is have a slow burn, and just take it easy and just let people discover it, and do more great shows like this, of which there should be more. There should be many more shows like this, which will showcase new artists and so on, and just take it easy. We'd love it to catch fire, but we're in for the long haul. We're songwriters, first and foremost, and then performers secondly. So we'll just carry on writing tunes.
Well, it sounds like you have the infrastructure is there, and
definite.
And as you say, I mean, we're going to use the word organic again, but that's what it feels like. It feels like it's an organic process, and I think that's what stands the test of time, isn't it?
Well, Wendy, is artists like Damien Rice who did exactly what we are doing.
Yeah, he
set up his own thing. He sold 80,000 records or so in Ireland, and then licensed it on and so on. He sold over 1 million records now, and he's in total control of his destiny. Nobody really is telling him what to do. He hasn't made another record, but nobody's actually dictating to him at all, and it's such a strong position to be in. He's a fantastic artist, an amazing performer, great songwriter and so on. But there is a way through to get your music through, or one's music through. So we're just having it.
Brilliant. I actually, from having you here and listening to the music, I think you're going to go far. That's my yeah. It's definitely it's timeless music and music that's organic, but that is going to do very well. And I'm sure BBC London 94.9. It's right up our alley, isn't it?
Well, we should drop some of these off for Jim Lahat, who's the music supremo down here. But should we have a listen to the single? Take us.
Yes, I think so. Because we've had a few live.
Yeah, I'm keen to hear it now. This is recorded in the haunted house.
Yeah,
haunted cinema.
And it's called Cinnamon. Why is it called Cinnamon?
It's one of Andy's ideas. It's probably one of his many ex-lovers that he's destroyed over the years. It's probably one of them who almost destroyed him, but he always gets the upper hand.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much for coming in this morning. It has been a pleasure. I mean, it's always a test, isn't it, when it gets to like 5 to 4 and it feels like the time has just flown past. It's been a pleasure. It's been so lovely to see you.
And
It's
you,
been a
and
long
you.
time, far too long. Hope to see the baby
Very soon. And good luck with
15th of
anyone.
August. Yes, I hope it's well. Get that. What song are you singing?
I want to
during
know
the
what
bur-
love is by Foreigner. Oh no, row, row, row your boat.
It's a kind of private. Well, it's not a private. When I did some training called Lamar's for when I was pregnant with Coco, and it basically teaches you the breathing techniques you need to take you through the various stages of labour. And on one stage of labour, you actually sing a song. And so my song was "London's Burning," which I repeat about hundreds and hundreds of times. So that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Row, row, row your boat.
Row you. I'll be thinking of you. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
in.
very
And the
much.
best of luck.
Thank you.
The gig, when is it? Tonight?
Later on
on
tonight,
today.
at the Borderline, supporting the Dukes or the Ducks, whichever you want to.
The Dukes, and that's D-U-K-S.
D-H-U-K-S.
Oh, right.
Fantastic
okay.
band.
And then you can also, the best of all, which is the 9th
9th of September.
9th of September.
Yeah. If you're
Totally.
going to go, you might as well stay the whole weekend, 9th, 10th, 11th.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
to play
guys.
us up to the news, here's the first single from the album, and it's called Cinnamon, about Andy's ex-girlfriend.
Friends.
Friend.
Good friends.
Good friend. Thank you, guys.
Cinnamon lets her hair down long and it's tangled in 1,000 knots, and she's holding me in so many ways. Her beauty pulls me off my feet, and I'm caught up on a desert breeze. My world's a mirage for the love she shows me. Gotta try my best to break her spell before I burn in my own hell. And I find myself waiting to sail that wave again. And as I'm falling deeper in, that's where obsession starts to reign. And it scares me to know what I might find there. Try to fake the perfect smile, but there's a splinter in my side. My heart has been bleeding since I was stranded. Yeah, and as I watch the perfect dream, yeah, ruined by my inner fears, I've been waking up knowing that my love will begin again. And I tell myself I must be strong, can't waste my time thinking I was wrong. Don't know where I am, and she begins, yeah. I'm starting to see. She's the fever in me. Cinnamon lets her hair down long and is tangled in 1,000 knots. She's holding me in so many ways. Yeah, gotta try